Right, remember that video we did where Neil and I challenged ourselves on trying to drag our bar ends in the dirt, basically trying to get as low as possible in a berm.
Good effort.
Sweet. Yeah? Now you're probably wondering, how the hell did they do that? Well, today's your lucky day. I'm going to show you a few tips on how to actually get your bar super close to the ground. So where do you start? Well, start off first with the berm. You're going to have the correct corner to perfect and to practice this technique on how to get your bar low as possible to the ground. I call it CAABE. It's called cornering, approach, attack, body position, and then exit. Made it up. It's pretty clever, but wait, it means a lot. So first up, corner. Right. Like I've said, it's all about that correct turn. It's all about that berm to try and get that bar end down. But what you want to look out for is what I call double S, double D. It is the shape, the size of the berm, the depth, and the dirt. Right, the first one is shape. Look at this, it's small. It's not very long and big. If you have a big berm, that means you're going to have to go extra fast to try and get that bar end down. By having a small berm such like this one, look at that. You come in a little bit faster. You can kind of lay it down a lot more because you're going to have to go around that tight berm. By doing that, you're basically going to have to put your bar down a lot more to get out on this corner. Right, number two is size. And size does not matter when you're trying to get the bar down, because just think, if you had a big berm like up here and you're riding it up here, look how far that dirt is. You're never going to get your bar end down. So you want to have a nice small berm so you can get close to the ground and cut a little groove in there, get that bar end as close as possible to the dirt. Right, after the size, that does not matter. It's all about getting the depth of the berm. And what I mean by the depth of the berm is this little bowl section right here. You don't really want this to be low. You want this to be quite high. So it's bowled out. So you basically, it's going to help you get that bar close to the ground and a little bit more safer as well, because you don't have to lean the bike so far over to the point where you're going to fall over. You're going to be skimming across this. It would be perfect if this was a little bit higher. That means you can get that bar scraping through the dirt. Right, down to dirty business, the dirt. What kind of dirt is perfect to help you perfect dragging that bar in the mud itself? Well, to be honest, I prefer to go out when it's a little bit muddy, because that means my tires are going to dig in the turn a lot more. I'm going to have a lot more grip. I can trust in my tires. By running on dusty trails is pretty good. Maybe it's a little bit thicker dust. You don't want to have marbly dirt on hard surface, because that's going to be quite slippy. You can probably lose the front end or lose the back end out the top of the berm. So after a rainy day is pretty good, or if you don't have rain in the countries you ride, go and find some dusty turns. Right, so you found the right corner. Now it's all about the approach into that turn. And it's all about speed. You want to come in with a bit of speed, a little bit faster than you think. You don't want to go too slow, because you're just going to poodle around it. It's not going to give you enough force to push that bar down, just to drag that bar on the dirt. So, but if you find yourself actually going too fast, don't worry. That's a good thing. The faster you go, the closer your bar is going to get to the dirt, because that means you're going to have to lean that beast over as much as possible to get around this really sharp turn. Next up is feet position when coming in. You want to have level pedals. You don't want to drop your outside foot. You don't want to drop your inside foot. Dropping your inside foot is like a recipe for disaster, because your approach angle is going to be there. You're going to tag your foot. It's going to buck you up. It's going to spit you out the berm. It's going to be embarrassing. So you want to keep a level foot. You want to be like that when approaching the berm. Also, visualize yourself. Think aggressiveness. Think, look at the turn. I'm going to go as low as possible in this beast, and try and get that bar as close to the dirt as possible. Let's move on to the next step. Right, so you found the correct berm. Now you're approaching this thing. Now you need to attack it. What I mean by attacking, you want to adopt the attack position. So you want to have your elbows bent. You want to have your knees bent. You want to be looking ahead. And when you're entering the berm, you want to drop your inside shoulder. Whilst doing this, you want to push through the berm. You want to push with your arms through it, push with your legs by pumping in the turn. Your hips are naturally going to come up to the top of the berm. You keep looking ahead at your exit, driving forward. The lower your shoulder is, the lower your bar is going to be going to the ground. But look at your exit, which brings me on to the exit because that is pretty key. Right, when you start leaning that bike over loads and loads, you start to feel your pedal is grinding the dirt. Like, look at that. That and that there is a pedal rut. That's the dirt from that rut. So don't worry, it's not gonna grip you or spit you, unless there's a big root there that can hook your foot and stop you, which potentially could cause some damage to your foot or to your crank or to your pedal. So just make sure that there's no obstacles in there to stop your pedal from bottoming out and stopping you. But look at that, it's super exciting. Your bike's leaning over. Look how low you are if your pedal's hitting the ground. Wow. Moving on from the attack now. You have attacked it, now you're in the turn. You want to adopt that body position. So, you want to push that bike through the berm. You want to drive it forward, you're pumping this thing. Just think this as a bowl. You're pumping through the bowl. So you're pushing forward with your arms, you're pushing with your legs, you're dropping your inside shoulder, your hips are moving up, you're looking ahead, your bar's getting low to the ground, you're coming to your exit. By still pushing forward, you want to push and stand your bike up, which moves me on to that exit. Okay, so you're right in the turn. Your bar's low to the ground. It's like that low. Now you're coming to the exit and your bars are still that low. And you're like, whoa, how am I gonna get from there to exit out the trail? Well, if you're breaking it down like that, it's quite daunting and scary, but the way you're coming through the turn, it's one motion. You're pumping in the turn, you're looking at your exit, you're forcing through, and when you're coming up, you wanna pull up on the bars and push down on the pedals to bring yourself up. So you're pulling up on the bars to straighten up your bike. But the main thing is you're focusing down the line. You wanna look at the line. You don't wanna look down here or there, because where you're looking is where you're gonna pull out. But just remember a tip. Your body weight is gonna be quite far back in this turn. So when you're pulling up on the bars and putting pressure on the back, on your pedals, you're gonna have a tendency to do this out the turn, which looks super sick in moto, but if you're not ready with that rear brake, you're gonna loop out and land on your back, and that's gonna be embarrassing. Oh, wow, wow. All right, now you've got all those techniques. Now it's all about sessioning it, perfecting that technique, and seeing how low can you go. Ha! All right, watch this. Now, what I'm finding out is, to get my bar even lower, my entrance to the turn is key. You don't want to cut it off short. See, I've been coming here as well. I've been practicing where the perfect entrance is. Low, I'm squaring off the turn. My bar's not gonna get low. Entering it earlier, like higher, like there, has me to dropping into it, getting my bar in lower. Watch this. Wow, I hit my pedal on the floor there. I got too much confidence after riding that super small but yet aggressive turn to try and get that bar in as low as possible to the ground. It's definitely gonna feel your confidence and all that grip you've got, but to be honest, I still question myself going super fast on a trail into a turn and thinking, have I actually got enough grip, really? But it's super fun. It's all about seeing how low you can go with that bar into the ground. It's all about practice, practice, practice. It's all about having fun doing it as well. You don't want to be like, right, I need to get my bar end down. It's not about that. It's all about having fun. The more fun you're having, the better you're gonna get. If you want to see another rad video from us dudes at GMBN, click down here for Dark Fest, where I kind of hit the biggest jumps of my life, which is super sick. And if you haven't subscribed already, smash that globe already, because you're missing out on some cool content. I'm gonna continue to shred some more turns. I'll see you at the next video.